Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, look, no mask, woohoo! Feels good. And it's nice to see you guys again. You can see my whole face, which is really kind of nice. I missed talking to you. Anyway, one of the questions I get a lot is, how much do I need to retire in Italy? And obviously, Italy is a big place. There are expensive cities, there are less expensive little areas, and it really depends a lot on where you are. And it also depends on what you consider your minimal standard of living. What do you want to do? How do you see your retirement? So there's a lot of factors that go into it. However, I compiled down a few things that can help you stretch your retirement dollar. First of all, let's go over the requirements of residency. In order to become a resident and thus retire in Italy with your elective residence visa and then your permission to stay visa, those are the two things that you need. You have to have a minimum of 31,000 euros or the whatever currency equivalent in passive income that is expected to continue. That's for an individual. For a couple, you need 38,000 euros. If you have dependent children, that's 20% on top of that. Okay, so that's the first thing to start thinking with. And what do they consider passive income? Passive income is something that doesn't result from any more work that you're going to do, basically. It is things like pension payments, 401ks, IRAs, annuities, or whatever you have that is expected to continue pretty much indefinitely. Rental income can be counted. Certain forms of spousal support, perhaps it's something that you really need to check with your attorney on to make sure that you fulfill all the requirements. But that's a basic sort of understanding so you can kind of move forward with those ideas. All right, so if you have that, you go, well, that's not very much, I wonder if I can live on that. And the answer is yes, you totally can. Again, it depends on where you live. If you're going to buy an apartment in Florence, you might pay a couple $100,000 for an apartment that you might buy in the south of Italy for 40, 60K, right? There's a big difference in property values and property prices. So that's something you want to look at too. If you're going to pay a mortgage or rent, that's going to be a huge part of the equation as to what you're going to pay on your retirement and how you're going to live, okay? That said, here's some really great tips I have for you. The first one is, if you really want to save money, try living without a car. And you can do that if you get a place that is really close to the train lines and also close to the shops and restaurants and things like that. Now, in our area, Scalea and Preamare are two really beautiful little towns that you can live in. Everything is within walking distance. The train stations are right downtown. You can walk there. All the shops, all the restaurants, the beach, everything is right there. So if you do that, you really don't have to have a car because you just hop the train, off you go. Anywhere in Italy and probably anywhere in Europe on the trains. So that's my first thing. The gas in Italy, the petrol, for those who are English, in Italy is very expensive. They sell it by the liter. It's actually more expensive than we have in California, which is like already crazy expensive. So that is a cost. And then you have on top of that car payment and insurance and registration, all that other stuff. You can cut all that out if you just choose to live in a place where you can walk everywhere and if you're willing to walk everywhere. So that's my biggest thing. The second thing is visit the local markets for your needfuls, right? If you need, fruits and vegetables, cheeses, things like that, household goods. I got some rugs there that were just crazy beautiful and really inexpensive. And in Scalea, there's a huge Monday market, and we love it. We look forward to it every day because they have these €1 tables where you can buy rings and things. We just have so much fun there. It's just like a little carnival, very festive atmosphere. But I've gotten, clothing that was actually quite nice. I've gotten shoes, of course. I've gotten cheeses. They have some of the best cheeses ever at some of these little markets. And what else have I gotten? Oh, rugs and towels, sheets, everything. You can find everything there. Little coffee pots, whatever you need, they have it at the Monday market. Now, in addition, they have the daily fruit and vegetable market, which is a really nice thing. It's like a little farmer's market, flowers, and you can buy nuts or freshly made olives and things like that. They have all those things there, and they're very inexpensive because it's just really farm to table. Now, in addition to that, all along the streets in summer, the farmers come and park their trucks. And so they might have a truck full of tropea onions, which are those amazing red onions that just are so good, and you can get them for next to nothing. They have potatoes. You know, I've bought potatoes off the potato truck before. Sometimes they have trucks with various different things. One of our favorite things to do is to catch the fish guy. He comes right below our house in his little car, and he has a little loudspeaker, and it's pesce, pesce fresque, and whatever he's saying, and it's just so fun. And Pete wants to sprint down there and grab whatever he has. We got this big filetto, which was a fillet of some kind of amazing fish, pulled directly from the Mediterranean for 10 euros. Which, you know, a kilo of fish, I don't know if you've ever seen a kilo of fish. It's a lot of fish. I think it's like 4 meals for us, you know. But amazing, super fresh, super good. So the local markets, don't neglect those. They are very, very cool. The other tip I have, if you love going to restaurants, and who doesn't really, go there for lunch instead of for dinner. And 2 reasons for that. Number one, they have lunch specials many times. I've seen in Scalea, there was a restaurant where for 10 euros you got a big pasta dish, and a meat dish, big meat dish, and a glass of wine or a bottle of water or whatever for 10 euros. I mean, it's like ridiculous. And it's so much food, you can't even eat it all, right? So lunches tend to be a lot less expensive than dinners. Now, another thing is I can never wait until, you know, 8, 9 o'clock to eat dinner. I'm starving. 6 o'clock comes around and I gotta eat. So if I, you know, many times in Italy, I'll just eat at home because I'll have dinner really, really early. When we do go out for dinner, Pete and I are always the first ones there, except for all the other hungry Americans that are in the restaurant. And it's really quite funny because we're the early birds. So yeah, so that's a reason to do the lunches instead of the dinners. Really, it's really nice. Now, another trick is the public beaches. When you go down to southern Italy, Calabria, anywhere along the beaches, they have the umbrellas. They're all set up. I mean, they're so pretty. They're all set up in a little line, and they look they just look like summer, and they're wonderful. But they cost, you know, and I think in the middle of summer, would we pay like 14 euros for an umbrella in the middle of the day? Now, if you want the umbrella and the shower and everything else that goes along with it, go toward the late afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock. First of all, you don't get so sunburned. It's still warm. You can still swim. But usually they discount the umbrellas. Like I got an umbrella for 8 euros one time. That was a great deal because, you know, it's almost half price. So that's one thing. The public beaches are another option. Now, if you bring your own umbrella, you bring your own towels and everything else, you can just visit the public beaches for free. Now, I like to have a shower because I don't like to be all salty, but if you just bring a giant water and dump it on yourself, you can even do that. So so the public beaches are another way to save a few bucks here and there. All right, and my final tip is to, you know, trade with the locals. Not necessarily barter trade, but buy things from the locals in your village. There's so many artists in Santa Domenica Tellao, and they create some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. We've got our builder's amazing, our architect is amazing. We've got people that make lace, they make sweaters. A beautiful lady makes these beautiful sweaters and shawls, and she said if I bring my own yarn, like if I pick out my own yarn, she'll make me a shawl. I'm just so happy about that. I'm gonna do that next time I get there. But you know, or even homemade pastas. All the ladies in our village make homemade pastas, and I'm kind of all thumbs at that because I'm not really much of a pasta maker, so I can buy it from them. It's awesome. So yeah, those are my tips, and I'm sure there's more. There's probably a lot more that I could give you, but this would kind of get you started. And also, you know, if you're looking at retiring, look at where you're going to be and look at the costs of mostly properties and things like that. If you need to be rent-free and mortgage-free, definitely look at some of the outlying areas. Don't look Rome, Venice, and Florence. Those are very expensive. You can find some things just a little outside of certain cities and villages. Down in Calabria, we have beautiful properties for next to nothing. You can really find something that you're going to love. So I hope this helps you, and I will do more videos. Now that I can do it without the mask, it's way more fun. So I'll talk to you guys later, and definitely write me and let me know how things are going. Okay, bye you guys.